Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another weekly chat video. In today's video, of course, we're gonna have our weekly chat, which honestly this week I don't even have a topic for, so just gonna talk about whatever comes to mind. And then we're gonna talk about the scale and also do a meal prep review so I can let you know how we like breakfast and lunch this week. So if you wanna join me for the chat this week, grab your drink and stay tuned. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Blue program, but on my channel, I do provide the points for all three programs, and I also share calories as well, but you don't need to be on any type of weight loss program to get tips and ideas from my channel. So I'd love to have you as part of our family. And for my weekly chat videos, they basically started out with just a weigh-in update, and it was just me sharing how I did on the scale, but they've kind of turned into where we just sit and chat. I'm just sitting here chatting with all my friends. So that's basically what this video has become. And honestly, it's become one of my favorites. And yes, Deb, I am in a hoodie. And for those of you up north, oh my gosh, I'm down here in Florida and I am so cold lately. So for those of you up north, I am thinking of you. So it's actually Friday. My weigh-in day is Thursday, but it's Friday right now. It is about 1:40 in the afternoon. I am actually teleworking. I haven't been teleworking all month throughout the whole month of January. And I was able to telework today. So getting back to possibly a couple days of teleworking each week. So I'm actually on my lunch break. I have a Zoom meeting at 2:30, so I figured I might as well just film this, and then that way I'll be ready for my Zoom meeting at 2:30. So I'm gonna start with meal prep review again this week, because when I talk about my weigh-in results, that really is gonna lead into pretty much the only talk that I really wanna talk about this week, which is us focusing on that number on the scale, because I've seen that a lot of people are still struggling this year. So for meal prep this week, for breakfast prep, I did the Fluffer Nutter overnight oats, and let me just start by saying they were so good. We loved those. The flavor was really excellent. I basically used my chocolate chip peanut butter recipe, and then instead of the chocolate chips, I just did the fluff. So I had a question about what the fluff was going to do, if it was going to run down in, and should I have waited to put it on the top. I think next time I'm probably going to wait and put it on the top, just because I really like my oats real thick. If you are more into like the creamy oatmeal kind of oats, then you're probably going to want to put it on ahead and just let it kind of ooze down in. What it did is each day it just kind of, I don't know if you want to say melted into the oats. So by Thursday, I still had one Thursday and it was still on the top, but you could just see that it was kind of getting a little bit watery, and you really had to mix it in with it. I'm gonna stick a clip in here that I actually did yesterday morning, Thursday morning. I just want to kind of show you what the consistency was so you can kind of get an idea, and because it's really hard for me to say, you know, what creamy is to me may be completely different to what creamy is to you. So let me stick that clip in and show you that. All right, so it's actually Thursday, so I want to show you what this looks like. So the top is still on there, but as you can see, it kind of watered down into it. So I think for me, I would definitely probably wait and put the fluff on later. And it's still a little bit thick, as you can see. It's just more creamier than normal. So it still has some thickness to it, and it's still delicious. So what I ended up doing is just kind of stirring that in there. So if you prefer it to be on the top, then just wait until the day that you make it. So I'm trying to give you an idea. See, it's not like watered down. And like I said, today's Thursday, so it's been sitting in my fridge now since Sunday. So kind of more like regular oatmeal consistency, but the flavor is so good. So as you can see, it is just really completely up to you as far as how you like that consistency. I actually prefer mine a lot more thick than that, so that's why I think I would probably just leave it on the top. But again, It was really good. I mean, just mixed in, it just had so much flavor. Those are just so flavorful. They really have a lot of the PB2 flavor to them. Somebody asked me what PB2 is. So if you're not familiar with PB2, it's actually a powdered peanut butter, and you can mix it with water and make it into like a peanut butter. I just never use it for that. If I'm gonna have peanut butter, I'm gonna have peanut butter right out of the regular peanut butter jar. But PB2 is excellent for overnight oats, to have in recipes. You can put it in, pancakes. You can put it in, I mix it with my pudding and Cool Whip. So things like that is really good for that. Lunch prep. For lunch prep, you remember I said I was almost embarrassed to show my lunch prep because I was just using a bag of frozen Tyson chicken and some frozen vegetables. After I did my meal prep, and I was kind of editing that part. And after I got done editing, I thought, that's not the norm for me to meal prep. But I always tell everybody that don't feel like you have to do anything extravagant, and you have to do what works for you. And I got thinking that just because I don't normally meal prep that way doesn't mean that somebody else can't. There is no right or wrong with meal prep. It's all, like I say, I just give examples. So I think I'm gonna continue doing that. There were a couple other times that I took shortcuts with like actually, I need to do that one again. There's like a cooked turkey breast that I get from Aldi, and that's all I do is just cut that up and put it in there. So I'm definitely going to get back. I feel like sometimes I'm just trying to look for the next best recipe to share, and sometimes we just need something easy. And I think this year we need easy. So I did the Tyson blackened chicken and the broccoli. So let me start with the broccoli because I'm not usually one for frozen broccoli that gets reheated like that. It was pretty good. I put the frozen broccoli in the meal prep containers, and even come Wednesday when we had the last one on Wednesday, that broccoli was pretty good. I was really worried that it was going to be kind of all mushy and watered down. It wasn't. It was good. That kind was really good. I think that kind we got from Sam's Club. So really good. So now let's talk about the blackened chicken. So you may have remembered in the meal prep, I did a little clip where I had said that I tried it and it was spicy. It was definitely spicy. Even my husband kept saying, man, my mouth is burning. I don't think that it was spicy enough, kind of like, when you're eating hot wings and your mouth is burning. I didn't get that. Mine was like my lips were burning after, just from the spiciness of it. With that being said, we both loved it because my husband and I both love spicy foods. So if you like spicy, you are going to absolutely love these chicken breast strips. I was quite surprised at the texture of them. I figured they would be a little bit more kind of rubbery. A lot of times when you buy frozen chicken like that, it can be kind of rubbery. It did have some parts where that fat, I don't know, what do you call it? I call it fat twine. It's kind of like where the fat piece is, and you just have to kind of cut that off. It did have a couple spots of that, but that you're going to find that in regular chicken anyway. But it was really good. So my understanding from several of you, though, is that if you don't like the spicy, that they do have a black pepper herb, and that one is not as spicy. And I also know many of you can't even find these. So I know I even had a hard time finding them for quite a while. So I was actually looking in the wrong, they have like different freezer areas in my Walmart, and I was looking in the wrong one. They ended up being over where, like near the fish, which was kind of weird. I thought was strange. Not with the normal chicken. There's like a frozen chicken section, and then there's a fish section, and they were like over in the fish section. So I don't know why. But it may just be one of those things that you can't get in some areas. But anyway, if you can find them, try them. They're really good. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for the black pepper herb kind of. I really want to try that. So I think those are excellent just to have in your freezer just for those times that you just need something quick. They would be great for dinner. Lunch, like I said, lunch was great. I didn't even end up having anything with them. I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on my broccoli, and that was it. That's all I did with them. So I do have a little clip that I'm going to stick in of that just to kind of show you what it looked like after it was cooked. Because when you saw it wasn't cooked, it was all still just frozen in there. So I'm going to stick a clip in here. So again, this is the Tyson blackened chicken, but they supposedly have one that is Tyson black pepper herb. And then I have my broccoli, and I just added some spray butter and a little bit of Parmesan to the top of those. So it ended up being a really good lunch. So now let's move into weigh-in results and the topic that I want to talk about, which is kind of to do with the scale. So many of you know that I'm not focusing on the scale this year. I am just kind of really trying to learn and understand my body and focus on the healthy habits. And so that is what I have been doing. I have done real well this week. I have been drinking my water. In last week's video, I mentioned that I lowered my steps down to 8,000 because I just wasn't reaching the 10,000. The next day, I said, no, this has got to stop. And this is why, because I'm sitting all the time. I figured out a way when I'm working at home, I sometimes work in my dining room. That way I have a high top table. So I have literally been marching in place, and I mean marching. I'm lifting my knees up so that I'm making sure I'm getting my heart going more than I would walking. And that is my new norm. And so that next day I bumped it back up to 10,000 steps because I ended up getting 20,000 steps. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you may have seen my post saying, well, that's a way to get back on track. I ended up getting 20,000 steps in, and every single day I ended up getting more. So I'll put a picture up, but if you remember, it was actually Saturday that I filmed my chat video last week. And that day I got over 13,000 steps. Sunday was 20,000 steps. Monday was 12,000. Tuesday was over 11,000. Wednesday, 15,000. Thursday, 11,000. So how did I do on the scale? I don't know. I didn't get on there. I just figured if my focus isn't going to be on the scale, then let me just continue what I'm doing and do these healthy habits and not worry about that number on the scale. Because one other thing that I've been doing is I have gotten back into weights. So I used to love lifting weights years ago. I absolutely loved it. I had my own weight bench. I had kettlebells. I had everything, and I loved lifting. And unfortunately, I ended up with a hernia. It was like a surgical hernia. It was like a hernia where I had a previous surgery. Like I think it was where my gallbladder surgery was. So there's a lot of scarring or something, and it just kind of pushed it open. And so ever since that was maybe 3 years ago. And ever since then, I've been afraid to get back into lifting. But this week I am at least doing just small lifting, like with my arms, try and get rid of, my arms are really bad. And I just really want to try and work on my arms. So I've been doing the weights, I've been getting my steps, and I thought, I'm sure that my body is holding water. I just know from previous that whenever I add exercise back in, whether it just be walking or most especially when I add in weights, again, I'm not an expert or anything. This is just personal experience, so don't hold me to this. But from my personal experience, a lot of times when I start exercising, that next week I will be up on the scale, just because my body is readjusting and holding, retaining water, trying to mend my muscles, things like that. So I just chose that I just feel so good. And I thought if the goal is not to focus on the scale, then why should I focus on the scale? So that's what I did. I didn't get on there. I am really debating, honestly, about going back to a monthly weigh-in. That's what I used to do. I have an app called Libra, and it basically looks at the trends. It's like up and downs. It just keeps track of the trend rather than my actual weight. And I may just use that daily just so that I can get a long-term look at the trend, but then have like my official weigh-in be the first of every month. I'm really toying with that idea. I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure. It may come next week and I'm going to be like, no, I just want to get on there and do an official weigh-in. So I'll see. But like I said, I just really this year don't want to get strapped into numbers. I want to really focus on the healthy habits. Yes, I'm still, counting points and everything. I'm not going to change that because to me, that's really important. It's really important for me to track my food at this time. And so I'm going to continue doing that. But that is where I am at. I'm just really not sure if I want to do once a month or weekly. I'm a little bit afraid of doing once a month because I'm afraid that it'll be too easy for me to say, oh, I still have 3 weeks left in the month. I can go overboard this week and make up for it later on in the month. I'm a little bit worried about doing that, but I don't know, I'll see. So let me know in the comments, are you a weekly weigher? Are you a monthly weigher? Are you a daily weigher? How often do you weigh yourself? Or do you weigh yourself, more than normal, but you only count like the monthly one or whatever? Let me know in the comments. And also let me know about how you're doing, whether it be scale related or any non-scale victories. Y'all know I love to hear those. So before I sign off, I want to let you know that I forgot that this Sunday is Super Bowl. I completely forgot. I had planned on putting together a video with like some appetizers that you could have for Super Bowl. I didn't even realize it was so soon. And then my husband mentioned something. I'm like, wait, that's this weekend? So I don't know what this weekend is going to hold. Today's Friday. I'm going to have my grandson for a sleepover tomorrow night. And then Sunday is Super Bowl. And I'm going to have my grandson until probably Sunday afternoon, which means I won't be meal prepping on Sunday. I may try to do a meal prep tomorrow on Saturday. I'll see what I can do. I'll figure it out. I do have a couple videos that are almost uploaded. I have one where I made some little flatbread pizzas the other day. It's not even a talking video. It's just music and me showing how to make those. And you may have seen those if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I posted pictures of those the other night. And then the other thing is the review of my coffee maker that I know a lot of you are waiting for. That is uploaded. It's done. I have to do one final edit and make my thumbnail, things like that. And then that should go up. So I'm thinking that will probably go up in the next couple days. So that is all I have for this week. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Kristi and I'm Planning Us Healthy.